Hello, and in this video I'm going to talk about trauma with a small t. Well, what do I mean by that? So often as human beings, when we think about or talk about trauma, our mind naturally tends to gravitate towards those more extreme worst case scenarios. So this is often topics around sort of child abuse or sexual abuse or sort of extreme violence. So we can kind of label those trauma with a capital T, right? Those are the most extreme cases. But for the vast majority of the population, there'll be one or many occurrences of trauma with a small t. And trauma with a small t we can define as any experience that is significantly threatening. So we can think as a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7, 11, 15, there could be many different experiences which are traumatic in the sense of we feel significantly threatened. So we can think about trauma with a small t as being those types of experience that are really worrisome, they're threatening, and they really sort of challenge our sense of safety. And it's often these traumas with a small t that build up and accumulate over time that really significantly impact both our mental and physical health. So we can think about these small traumas, although being maybe slightly less extreme than the end of the spectrum, as being no less important. So maybe when you were growing up, maybe your caregivers were absent quite a portion of the time. Maybe their treatment of you was unpredictable. So sometimes you were walking on eggshells because you didn't know what type of response you would get. Or maybe you'd be in a relationship a little bit older and there would be sort of like chronic mistreatment. So there would be name calling or criticism. And we can think about all of these types of experiences as being traumas with a small t. Now, when we think about trauma in this sense, this gives us another way that we can kind of identify what might be contributing towards the challenges that we're having from a mental or physical sense. So I wanted to just talk through this trauma with a small t, because these are often the ones that accumulate over time, over a number of different experiences, but that accumulative effect can sometimes be equal to or even greater than those more extreme examples. So it's something to bear in mind that actually trauma comes in many different shapes and many different sizes, and it's just something for you to think about. Thank you.